Last night, Carla Skelly, Amy Timlin. A very good fight, very entertaining. A draw. That was the verdict. I think the verdict was wrong. I think Skelly won that fight. And I think she won it comfortably enough. Now, Timlin, a skillful boxer, obviously a good quality boxer at the beginning of her career. I was impressed with her. She boxed well, she looked well, she moved quite well. Skelly, low level skill, very very stiff. She reminded me of Rachel Ball, her upper body. Her upper body was rigid. She went into the fighting like this and her entire upper body stiffened when she was throwing her punches. So, and that's a, excuse me, that's a severe disadvantage to anyone who wants to be a serious boxer. You have to be able to have that shoulder and neck movement, all of that. And Skelly just doesn't have it. But she was very effective in what she did. And her strategy or plan seemed to have been, getting close to Timlin, close her down, deprive her of her own little personal space, that little bit of comfort zone you have. That space you have that allows you to set up a shot and all this. Well, Skelly she was in Timlin's face, literally in her face. And that was the be-all and the end-all of her strategy. But it has to be said that it worked very well. Now, in my opinion, and I've only seen the fight once live, I haven't been able to review it since, but going from my memory of the fight, and I wasn't keeping notes and I was quite excited, but going as far as I can remember, as I recall it, Skelly won the first 2 rounds. She was hitting Timlin a lot in the face. A lot. And I think it was clear she won the first 2 rounds. It wasn't really until the 3rd round that Timlin began to get more comfortable or get a bit of control, get into her rhythm, if you like. But the first couple of rounds, I thought Skelly won and won clearly. She just kept hitting Timlin in the face, and Timlin couldn't really manage it. Now, at the end of the fight, for the last few rounds, maybe the last 3 rounds, Skelly again was clearly winning those rounds. She was hitting Timlin in the face, hitting her hard, hitting her a lot. So I think any person looking at this fight, they would accept that Timlin won the early rounds and that Skelly won the first few rounds and the last few rounds. Now in the center, in the middle of the boxing match, maybe from round 3 to round 5 or 6, in that part of the fight, Timlin began to take some control. She began to get her shots off. She began to be able to pursue her strategy, to show her skills. And she was very good, very impressive, and she handled Skelly's attacks very well. And no doubt she won some of those middle rounds, but I'm not certain she won them all. Some of those rounds were quite close. It was hard to tell. So Timlin, clearly the more skillful fighter, clearly the better boxer, and probably a good future ahead of her. Skelly, not very skillful, not a great boxer, and let's be honest, she doesn't have a future at the top. Definitely not. However, on the night, I thought that Skelly fought the perfect fight for a boxer like her. She got in close, she closed Timlin down. She was in her face, and she did hit her a lot, and with quite hard punches. She hit her a lot, particularly then in the last couple of rounds. I mean, she was hitting her hard and hitting her with relative impunity. So I think it was an excellent fight from Skelly's point of view. I think she fought the perfect fight for someone with her skill level. And I don't think Timlin coped with it very well. Skelly dictated the shape of the fight, the tone of the fight, the personality of the fight, if you like. And yes, she's not very skillful, and she's very stiff up here. But you can only fight with what you have. And Skelly, I thought, in a sense, she gave a masterclass. What do you do if you really don't have a lot of skill? What do you do if you just don't have that natural upper body flexibility? What do you do? Well, Skelly showed us what to do. You get in close, really close. You stay in really close. And you concentrate all your effort in hitting your opponent in the face. So I was very impressed with Skelly. I was also impressed with Timlin. She looks like a girl, a young woman who should have a good future. And I'm sure she'll be a very entertaining fighter. And I wish her all the best. And she was very good on the night. Now I can understand, excuse me, I can understand the draw verdict. I can understand it. You know, here you've got a young girl on her way up, skillful, etc., etc. Here you've got another older girl, older woman, who really isn't going anywhere. And if a fight's fairly close, you know, the young contender maybe gets it. Because she was more skillful, she was better to watch. You could see the potential there. But on the night, in my opinion, she simply couldn't cope with Skelly. She never got in control of the fight. Yes, in the center, in the middle rounds, she did well, and she did well. And she obviously beat Skelly in some of those rounds. But Skelly was dictating the pace, the temperament of the fight. And in my opinion, Timlin, she never quite got a grip on it. And we saw that at the end. At the end, you know, the last two rounds, I mean, Timlin, if there had been another round, you know, Timlin would have lost clearly, very clearly. So, a good boxing match, very entertaining. I have no problem with the judge's verdict. I understand the verdict. And it was a close-ish fight, but it wasn't that close. It really wasn't. Skelly was effective. She had a very narrow skill set, and her defense was zero because her stiffness, she kept getting unnecessary blows in the face. But having said that, she did what she did very well. She hit Timlin with a lot of punches in the first few rounds. In the middle rounds, she gave almost as good as she got, and then in the close rounds, she hit Timlin again a lot in the face. So, personally, I think Skelly deserved the victory. At the end of the fight, at the interviews immediately following the fight, it was clear that Skelly I got the impression that Skelly was disappointed. She felt she'd won it, and she seemed like a nice woman. Timlin, on the other hand, she was resigned, and I think she was relieved. I think she realized that, you know, so they were, I think, Skelly, the better fighter. I thought she fought the perfect fight for someone like her. And ultimately, that's really only how you can judge someone. She was very effective, very effective. So, for me, Skelly was the winner. But a great fight, and Timlin looks like a really interesting fighter with a great future.